Welcome to Juice Interviews. I'm your host Nat Kossyvaki, and today I'm going to be joined by a very influential singer-songwriter and upcoming pop icon. Her debut EP has caused queer panic around London, and with her heartfelt and authentic lyrics, she's on a mission to make vulnerable badass. Her name is Fox Gunn. Let's get started. Welcome, Fox Gunn.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So we're going to be talking a lot about the success of your debut EP and your artistry very soon. But first, I would like to know, who is Fox Gunn?
She's great. Fox, I feel like Fox is me in my personal life on crack. I feel like I've taken everything that I'm like, oh, I'm too scared to be this confident, I'm too scared to be this flirty, I'm too scared to be this, and just put it into my like artist persona. I would say Fox is a confident, flirty artist.
I really like that.
Wow.
Perfect.
Thanks.
And that's a great start to our interview. I'm going to pour you some juice.
Fantastic.
You've chosen tropical. Why is that? Why is it your favorite?
Good to mix of everything. I like things that are like not one thing and not the other. You don't really know what you like it.
Cheers. Welcome. So I'm pretty sure that you haven't always been so confident and expressive with your music or with just yourself or with your sexuality. When did that change and how did it change?
I think it's been a big as like a long process. I think moving to London was the first like stepping stone. And then, because I was like, no one knows me here. I can be whoever I want to be, and all of these things that I was scared to be back home or this or that. No one knows me. So I can just be that person and that no one's going to question it. So that was the start. And then I remember vividly, I used to have this band when I was at uni, and I wrote my first song that talked about women, and I was terrified, like so terrified. And I played it live, and people not only related to it, but like enjoyed it. And I was like, wait, I think I'm onto something. And then from there, I was like, actually, I think now it's happening way more. But like when I was younger, there wasn't a lot of artists that were like very open about their sexuality or very like confident or anything like that. And I was like, I want to be the person I needed when I was younger. So I think I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do that. And if people don't like it, well, it's their problem, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's not only about like being queer or for my music, yes, it's very queer, but it's not only for queer people, because I think it's just about freedom and about expressing yourself and being confident, and anyone can relate to that.
So I guess moving to London really changed your whole perspective about this.
Oh, yeah.
And gave you a lot of confidence to be who you truly want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would be a very different person if I didn't move here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you, why London and not Barcelona?
Well, the music scene in Barcelona is not as open as this one or like as successful as the one in London. And I did think about America, but I was like, I was 18, like freshly 18, and I didn't want to move somewhere that I couldn't just like take a flight back.
Yeah.
So I did this, and it worked. I'm happy I did it.
And you've been here for many years now. And
8
it's going
years.
well.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's going well.
It is going super well, of course. So what do you think makes you stand out from other artists in your music genre?
Like now we're seeing the uprising of like the lesbian renaissance, and you've got so many like big pop artists and like female artists, everyone, right? I feel like it's a lot of mainstream pop, or pop that's like, there's just one genre that people listen to. And I feel like I have lots of like Spanish influences and things like that. It's a bit darker than your usual radio stuff. So I think that's different. And also I have an accent, so
I love the accent.
that works.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good pop music out there at the moment.
It's
but
amazing.
Nobody has this accent. It makes you immediately stand out.
Exactly. I used to hate it, and then I realized that people here love it. Well, not only in London, like in general, English-speaking countries like it. And I was like, I'm just gonna embrace it and like use it to my advantage.
Of course, everybody's like, oh, it's so exotic.
Exactly.
Where
Where
are you from? Exactly. So would you define your music as queer pop?
Maybe. I want to be an artist that happens to be queer, not a queer artist. So I think I'd say I make like alternative pop with Spanish influences, that has very clear queer narratives. But I don't think I would say queer pop, because then it's like, oh, it's just like queer music. Yes, it is queer music, but it's like music that's queer. You know what I mean?
Get it, yeah. You don't want that label right on top of your music.
I mean, I'm very openly queer. I feel like you see me and you know, but like, it's not the thing that defines me.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so now I want to talk about your debut EP, Badass and Vulnerable. It was inspired by your first heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's easier to write about heartbreak and toxic relationships and all of those negative feelings and experiences rather than writing about something happy, like a happy relationship?
100%.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I feel like I was so inspired when I was like heartbroken, or like when I was in my like hoe phase and dating a lot and sleeping around. And now I'm like in a monogamous relationship and I'm so happy and I'm so in love. But I don't want to make like sappy love songs. You know, I cringe myself. Like I start writing and I'm like, I cannot do this. I can't sing this live. So I'm trying to like mix the two together. And also I feel like you can write about love, but from other places, not just from happiness. Like from fear, like, oh, this is amazing, I'm scared that it's gonna end. Or in a flirty way, like, I think that it's cool if someone like tries to get with you because I know that you're coming home with me. So I've tried to flip it, because I know if I just write love songs, I can't do that.
Yeah, I get that. So I'm pretty sure like now you've entered a kind of like new era with your latest release, Life Is Not a Game, but I Think I'm Winning. It's not a cheesy love song, not at all. It definitely gives a different perspective to your debut EP, but it's still the good Fox Gunn, which I love. But how was it like writing this song and turning all of those new feelings into music?
To be very honest, when I started writing it, I didn't think that I was going to release it. I wrote it thinking, this is just for me. I'm not even gonna share it with the person who's about. It's like my girlfriend now. I'm not gonna do it. This is for me. And then I finished. I was like, oh, actually, I think people would like it. So I continued with it. But I think that's why it exists. It's because I didn't write it thinking like, oh, it will do well on TikTok, or oh, people are gonna like it, this and that. It was just like, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that happen at all with any of the songs from your EP? Were you thinking, oh, this is gonna look good on TikTok or on social media, I should release it?
Well, the EP was pre-TikTok. I think the EP was just like a need to write, because I was heartbroken and I was hurt and I was like, I need to do something about this or I will lose my mind. Whereas this one is like, I'm great, but I also want to write. So.
Okay. How did your girlfriend react when she first listened to it?
She cried. It was nice. It was very nice. Yeah, she likes it.
It's a nice song. Do you have any other songs in the works that you're going to be releasing in the future that kind of like express this new chapter in your life?
Yes, I do. I feel like I do have one of them that's a love song. But as I was saying before, like it's written from fear. So it's not like oh, I'm so in love, it's so great. It's like fuck, this is great, and I'm terrified of when it's not. So maybe it's like a destructive way of seeing it, but I feel like in my brain, it's better to release that than like I just love you, you know. I feel like it goes more with like my personality and everything.
Of course, and I think we need songs like that out there. It's not all about the butterflies in your stomach, how happy you are with a person. Love is so complex, it has so many different levels to it, and fear is a very big one of them.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think all of your lyrics are so authentic, honest, and you're not afraid to speak out. And that's what you're going to do, even when you're in a very happy place right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you listen to your music?
No.
No.
I feel like I listen to my music before it comes out.
Yeah.
Like when I have demos or like the mix or something, I listen to it on repeat. Like I will be on the tube and I'm like, okay, no, but writing down this should change this and that. And then once it comes out, I'm like, nope, it's not mine. It's people like for the world now.
Yeah.
And I listen to it because I feel like I'm a big perfectionist. So once it's out, I can't change it. And if I listen to it, I'm like, oh no, this could have been better, or this could, you know. So no, not really.
I think it's a normal thing for an artist. You spend so much time working on something, you listen to it so many times.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess if you go on Spotify and you play one of your songs, you're not going to focus on the whole thing. You're going to focus on, oh, how was that vocal? How was that
exactly
note? Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do like it. It's not that I don't listen because I don't like it, you know. I like my music. I made it, so.
Oh, yeah, you make it because you like it.
Exactly.
All right. So now that you have built a strong following on TikTok and Instagram, um, you have a big fan club. You have, I guess, a lot of people that are interested in your music and who you are and what you do. How do people normally approach you in the internet?
To be honest, I know that the internet's a very like toxic place and you get hate comments and stuff, but like I must be on the right side of the internet because
Okay.
it's been great. Like so great. I feel like everyone I've met is amazing. They come to shows and I really like actually getting to know my audience. So then they come to show, I'm like, oh my God, we spoke on a TikTok live about this. How was the date? How was this? Like I like remembering it. I feel like there's a sense of community, which is amazing. I get the odd like, Jesus will save you. I get a lot of those like comments, but besides that, it's been great. I really like it. I think now it's a bit different. When I first started with TikTok, I was very single and my whole brand was being super flirty and super like everything. So people would approach me almost as if I wasn't human sometimes, like because it's internet, people don't understand that like you're still a person at the other side.
Yeah.
And he was like super full on. But now that they know I'm in a relationship, it's usually more respectful, which is nice.
But so when you were single, they would just approach you just to hit on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, I would do this, or I would do that.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, thanks. I don't know you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. How did you deal with that? Was it something that affected you or did you not take it too seriously?
I think it got to my head a lot when my TikTok started to like pop off at first, but it wasn't about the actual comments. It was more like there's all these messages and I can't reply to all of them and I don't have enough headspace to deal with it. So I mostly didn't reply.
Okay.
But now I make a point, like I try to always reply to things because I think I would love it if I followed someone and they spoke to me. So even if it takes time, I'm like, okay, tell me about this and tell me about that. And like, it's very nice. I really enjoy it. Yeah.
That's so nice. And you got your own fan club, the Mother Foxers.
Yeah.
I love the name. How is that? How are your relationships with the people in your fan club? And how does it feel to have built such a strong community all by yourself?
It's great. I honestly, sometimes I don't believe it. Like, I feel like I've been hoping for this for so long and now it's actually starting to happen. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? Like, but it's great. I feel like everyone's super nice. Like, I have a show in a couple of weeks and there's people flying to London for it and they've met online because of like the little group chats they have with like Mother Foxers and now they're friends and I'm like, wait, I made this, well, my music made this happen. I think it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
You're bringing so many people together
It's crazy.
just because they listen to your music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very surreal experience.
Yeah, it's amazing. Did you always want to become that artist when you were little, when you were thinking about it at uni or at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm just doing it for the love of it. Yeah, I'm doing it for the love of it, but I also want to be recognized for it. And I think like there's nothing wrong with that. You want to get a promotion when you work an office job. Well, I want to play like a massive stage because I'm an artist. So
Exactly.
yeah.
That's so good, so good. Do you have a job on the side of music though that supports you financially? How do you manage to balance those two things together? Because I'm pretty sure, you know.
I don't.
You don't? Okay. It must be very draining though, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Having to do all the music work, also the social media work,
Yeah.
and then just go to your random job that you don't really care about.
Yeah. I mean, I work at a restaurant, so at least I'm not like sitting at a desk. I feel like I can't do that. I need to move, and it's nice. And I just talk to people all day, which is great. And I just keep reminding myself, this is paying rent so that I can make music.
Exactly.
You know, one day I will pay music like rent with music, but for now, that's what's allowing me to do it. So I try to remind myself of that. I think now it's a bit weird because I do get recognized at the restaurant sometimes, and it's a very, very weird interaction because it's like, oh my God, I love you. And I'm like, okay, but do you have any allergies? And I just feel like it's not an interaction that an artist should have with their audience, you know?
Yeah.
But I try to make the most of it, and I just ask them to not share where I work so that it doesn't happen too much.
Okay. But it's also realistic, you know.
Exactly.
The music industry is hard, and when you start in all by yourself, especially without a label or help from a lot of people, it's just realistic. It just has to happen.
Exactly.
But I think the most important thing is to keep your mentality on the music. Just focus on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it seems to be going really well for you.
I hope so.
I
Yeah.
love when you walked in, we talked about this and you said you serve for a living.
I do.
It's such a nice way to describe it.
It sounds better though. I'm a waitress. No, I serve.
You serve.
Yeah.
Out of your whole experience in the music industry, is there anything that you have found challenging or difficult as a new artist, as a female artist, as a queer artist?
Man.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, patriarchy. Mostly the fact that like if you're not a cis man, I feel like you're not taken as seriously. Not from a musician point of view, or like maybe the technical music, but like from an artist, it's fine. But it's the behind the scenes, like contracts and sound engineering, like anything that's not being an actual artist. People don't expect you to know about it. But I actually find it very like enjoyable when people are like, oh yeah, because this contract and this, you wouldn't know. I'm like, I have a degree, like I did songwriting at uni, but half of it was like business and contracts and copyright. So I find it very like, oh, this and that. I'm like, yeah, so in section this and this and this, and it's great. No, you didn't expect that, did you?
Okay.
And also just like the fact that we have to make content 24/7 now in the music industry, I find it very hard. And I know that like you don't have to. It's not a must. You can just make music for the love of it. But if you want to have like a sustainable business, because at the end of the day, I'm the product, it's very hard. Because I just wanted to make music and now I need to like sell myself as a person.
Yeah. I see it a lot on TikTok. A lot of independent artists are not just the musicians or the songwriters, they are the marketing team, the PR team, everything. They do everything.
Yeah.
And it's such a lot of work. And it's such a shame that you have to carry all that weight on your shoulders.
Exactly.
Because you don't get the visibility or the chance to work with a team that will be able to support you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was signed to an indie label when I released Badass and Vulnerable. And I think it's made me realize they were great, Frictionless, they're amazing. But I think it was like a weird in between. Because it was like, yes, you're funding my music, but also I'm still doing everything else. So it came to a point that I was like, I think I'd rather fund my own music from my savings or the restaurant and things like that, and then keep everything that I make. And if I'm doing all the work, I might as well reap the benefits of it. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So I think I'd rather either be fully independent or signed to a major. Not in between.
Yeah. No, that
And I
makes
know a lot of
sense.
people love indie labels and everything, but I just think it's not for me. I'm a control freak, right? So I need to do everything or have a big team that I can be like, yes, no, yes, no, you know?
Yeah. So if you can't be in full control of what you do, then you're just not gonna set for like a middle solution, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I think that's where I'm at the moment.
If like a very major label comes to you with an opportunity to get signed, would you go for it? Or would you still be independent?
It depends on how creative I can be. If I keep creative control, yes, 100%.
Okay.
If I don't, I'd rather be a smaller artist and make what I want than be massive and hate it. Because I feel like it's very easy, especially with pop and everything, to just be like, oh, this is the radio wants this or the fans want this, but do they actually? You know what I mean? Because like I feel like I have a very personal relationship with my audience, and a lot of the time it's not what I expected them to want. When they tell me like, oh, we love this song, I'm like, oh, I didn't think you would, because it's not like the most commercial one, or
Yeah, I've seen it in a lot of artists in the pop industry. Like, you know, once they're independent, they're in full control of what they do. Once they get signed by a big label, you see those slight changes in their music, how they behave, all the publicity and stuff, and it's a real shame.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, like, I really love what I do. I don't want to change myself for like a label or for this or for that. You know what I mean? And like, I do believe that what I'm doing and the way I behave and the way I look and things like that can work. And I think it will work for the right people. And maybe it's just not meant for, I don't know, someone else. But
yeah, I agree. I think you found the right formula for yourself. You found your audience. You have found the way you want to express yourself. You found your sound. All you need to do now is keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's the problem, that it's so easy to be like, oh no, it's gotten too hard, I don't want to do it anymore. On every step you go, people just like, oh, I can't do it anymore, I can't do it anymore. And I would love to just be like, oh, I can't do it anymore. But what am I gonna do? I don't want to have like a normative job.
Yeah.
I would go crazy. I can't do it.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
One last question. This is a classic. We used to do it in season 1. Now you're going to be the first one to answer it in season 2. What's something that brings you peace, makes you peaceful?
Queer joy.
Elaborate.
Yes, I feel like it doesn't sound peaceful, but having grown up really not hating myself or who I am, but like not being comfortable with who I am and what I want and things like that, I think that at my shows or like other people's shows where like you can be completely free, even if it's for like 2 hours that the show lasts or something, those 2 hours you're completely free to be yourself, to do what you want. I can like be with my girlfriend and not have to worry about if someone's looking or if someone's like being stupid, whatever, right? And you get this like little moment, little bowl of like queer joy where you can like just be yourself. That gives me peace.
Wow.
Yes.
That's such a beautiful moment. I've never thought about it. It's so true though. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for our next guest on this podcast? It can be anything, regarding music or anything.
What would be your death row meal? Like the last thing you would eat.
Okay.
Change things up a little bit.
I like it. Thank you so much, Fox Gunn.
Thank you for having me. It's been so great.
Keep it locked up. It's between you and me. Yeah, let them wonder. Let them ask around. Let them flirt. Take me